Hello and welcome to this sonnet study, an overview of a poetic form that Shakespeare used to help us get ready for Shakespeare's language and the taming of the shrew, and to give our close analysis skills a workout. Well, you know, there are all kinds of airplanes for different purposes and people. There's this kind that you could build in your backyard. This one was built for like one person to fly maybe a couple hundred miles at no more than 125 miles per hour. That's a far cry from this jumbo jet, which was built in the 70s originally to transport hundreds of people thousands of miles away at speeds approaching 700 miles an hour. And even that is different from the function fulfilled by this F-35, a killing machine ready to destroy property and people at high velocity and radar detection escape. Well, the same applies to poetry. We've developed, humans have, different poems for different purposes. This is a ballad, usually a way to tell a fanciful story like this one, Annabel Lee, a kind of song-like, you can set it to music, way of expressing oneself with regular rhyme scheme. Then there's the big, old story, the epic poem, like this page from Beowulf, a way to convey big, heroic stories across generations. And of course, if you are at all around the internet, you've seen the kind of poetry that just regular people write because their heart is overflowing with emotion. That is one definition of poetry, and that's what you see in this little love poem on the right. Well, we're going to look at one particular kind of poem called the sonnet. Now, the sonnet began around the year 1300 with a Sicilian poet, and it was popularized by another Italian named Petrarch in 1340s, 1350s. Petrarch was the one that we acknowledge as the first master of the sonnet. Sonnet, by the way, means little song. Well, it got popular in about 200 years later in England. Shakespeare finds it and is so enamored of it, he uses it to write 154 different poems, all of them useful in conveying an argument. That's what people find useful about the function of a sonnet. It's great for expressing arguments in its relatively small 14-line package. So you can make a philosophical argument about the way the world works or the way people are, or you can make a more personal kind of romantic argument about how I love you or why you should love me. And Shakespeare used both of those. In this activity you're about to engage in, you're going to be in a group where you're going to make a poster of your sonnet, you're going to transcribe it there legibly. Then you're going to use your summary skills to put it into modern English. You'll prepare to read it well aloud because poetry is meant to be heard. And then you'll have a little explanation of whatever artwork you decided was appropriate. And finally, you'll lead a little discussion about what the poem is saying and get your classmates engaged in its claim. So the sonnet does have 14 iambic pentameter lines, and in the Shakespearean form of it, you've got 3 quatrains, rhyming AD, AD, that equals 12, plus the rhyming couplet at the end. This famous one by John Keats is a good example. John Keats, dying of tuberculosis in his early 20s, wrote this poem, "When I have fears that I may cease to be." Let's do a quick analysis of this. "When I have fears that I may cease to be, before my pen has gleaned my teeming brain, before high-piled books and charactery hold like rich garners the full ripened grain, when I behold upon the night's starred face huge cloudy symbols of a high romance, and I think that I may never live to trace their shadows with the magic hand of chance. And when I feel, fair creature of an hour, that I shall never look upon thee more, never have relish in the fairy power of unreflecting love, then on the shore of the wide world I stand alone and think, till love and fame to nothingness do sink." So check out the parts and the argument of this one. In the first quatrain, he seems to be saying that, well, when I'm afraid that I'm going to die before I have written everything I wanted to, and I'm afraid that I will die before I have experienced everything that I want to, and then, most tragically perhaps, when I feel that I'm going to die and not be able to be with thee, his loved one may infer, any longer, everything seems very depressed, and nothing matters anymore. Well, that was one poem's argument. Here's a famous one by Shakespeare. This is number 144. We're going to do a quick analysis of this, and then you'll get busy on yours. "Two loves I have, of comfort and despair, which like two spirits do suggest me still. The better angel is a man right fair, the worser spirit a woman colored ill. To win me soon to hell, my female evil tempteth my better angel from my side, and would corrupt my saint to be a devil, wooing his purity with her foul pride. And whether that my angel be turned fiend, suspect I may yet not directly tell. But being both from me, both to each friend, I guess one angel in another's hell. Yet this shall I ne'er know, but live in doubt till my bad angel fire my good one out." So what we're going to look for is the argument here, because it has a claim with reasons and evidence and warrants right through it, just as your essay would. The first quatrain is going to have the main claim and the reasons. Then the second quatrain, you'll find the reasons that are given with further evidence. And then watch out for that third quatrain. That's where the volta or turn is, Italian for turn. That's where the mood shifts. Usually it's a counter-argument or some big insight. That leads into the couplet at the end. Those are those last rhyming lines that restate the claim or comment on it. So notice the first quatrain, we're going to look for that main claim. The second one, we're going to look for further reasons for that claim. Look out for the volta in the third quatrain. That's going to lead into the couplet at the end. So look for those things. Okay, so here I've got a piece of artwork attached to it, and I'll give you my summary. In the first quatrain, the speaker is saying he is pulled between two influences, a good masculine and an evil feminine. In the second quatrain, he's talking about how the female angel, or evil female, tries to get that good angel to become evil. And yet, here's the volta. In the third one, he claims that he's not sure that the good angel really is good, since both are from me and they're close with each other. So the couplet goes off on that line of doubt. I guess I'm going to stay here in doubt until the evil one finally wins. So it seems like he's expecting the evil one to finally win. which may be kind of a depressing message. Anyway, notice my stained glass artwork over here. I found Jesus and Satan. This is when Jesus is tempted in the Gospels by Satan. He's offered the whole world if he'll just throw himself down. And that is something that you could have learned in Sunday school. But you get the good angel and the bad angel idea going there. That's how it relates. If I were going to ask a discussion question about this, I would say, okay, what's your good angel and your bad angel? My good angel is always saying, okay, you must do work, you have to get this 25th paper graded before you can do anything else. I'm on paper number 20 and I want to give up. My evil angel is saying, forget it, there's a nice Netflix video you can watch, this DVD, no commercials, enjoy yourself, you deserve it. And so there's this tension that goes back and forth. Usually what I do is I end up with a little compromise and I say, okay, 3 more papers, and then I'll watch that DVD. Usually what happens after the 3rd paper, I say, just a couple more. So the discussion question might be, what is it that your good and bad angel are telling you to do? Discuss. All right, so now you've seen what we're talking about. You're going to get your sonnet, you'll analyze it, you'll transcribe it, you'll put some artwork on it, and then you'll discuss it. That is what we're going to do for the sonnet overview.